off and hide, you let me know.
Can't do this, boss. Ain't your army.
Stay down! Stay down! When your spinner told to move out, they move.
Tigerland delivers a raw, emotional, and deeply human portrayal of soldiers preparing for the horrors of the Vietnam War. Unlike traditional war movies, filled with large battlefield sequences and heroic action, this film focuses almost entirely on the mental and emotional struggles of young recruits during brutal military training. The story unfolds inside a harsh training camp where fear, anger, confusion, and hopelessness slowly consume the soldiers waiting to be sent into combat. From the very beginning, the movie creates an atmosphere filled with tension because every character understands that their future may already be doomed before they even step onto a real battlefield. The training camp itself feels like a prison designed to break men psychologically as much as physically. At the center of the story is a rebellious young soldier who refuses to fully accept military authority or the idea of war itself. His attitude immediately separates him from the other recruits and creates conflict with officers who demand obedience above everything else. What makes his character compelling is that he is not fearless or invincible. Instead, he appears emotionally exhausted and deeply aware of the terrifying reality waiting ahead. While many soldiers try to survive training by following orders blindly, he constantly questions the system around him and the purpose of the war they are being prepared for. This resistance turns him into both a respected figure among some recruits and a dangerous problem in the eyes of his superiors. The film stars Colin Farrell in one of the performances that helped bring him major attention. His portrayal of the rebellious recruit carries the entire emotional weight of the movie. He brings charisma, anger, vulnerability, and intelligence to the role, making the character unpredictable yet deeply human. Unlike many military protagonists who seek glory or heroism, his character mainly wants survival and freedom. He understands the psychological destruction war can cause, and that awareness shapes nearly every decision he makes throughout the story. His performance feels natural and emotionally authentic, helping the film maintain its realistic tone from beginning to end. The military training environment becomes one of the most important aspects of the movie. The recruits are pushed through exhausting physical exercises, humiliating punishments, endless drills, and constant psychological pressure. Officers treat weakness as something unacceptable, forcing the soldiers to suppress fear and emotion while preparing for a conflict many of them barely understand. The camp feels isolated from the outside world, creating the sense that these young men have already been removed from normal life and transformed into something entirely different. The film captures the emotional exhaustion of this process with brutal honesty. One reason the movie feels so powerful is because it avoids romanticizing military life. There are no glamorous battle sequences or patriotic speeches designed to inspire audiences. Instead, the story focuses on fear, uncertainty, and emotional instability. Many recruits appear terrified of the future, and that fear shapes their behavior in different ways. Some become aggressive, some collapse emotionally, and others simply try to disappear into the crowd to avoid punishment. The movie presents military training as a psychological survival test where individuality is constantly under attack. The relationships between the recruits create much of the emotional depth in the story. Living together under extreme pressure forces them into complicated friendships and rivalries. Some soldiers admire the rebellious protagonist because he says things they are too afraid to express themselves. Others view him as reckless and dangerous because his defiance attracts punishment that affects the entire group. These tensions create realistic dynamics inside the unit, where loyalty and resentment exist side by side. The friendships feel genuine because the characters are united by fear and uncertainty rather than simple camaraderie. The cinematography plays a huge role in creating the film's realistic atmosphere. Much of the movie is shot with handheld cameras and natural lighting, giving scenes an almost documentary-like feeling. Instead of polished Hollywood visuals, the movie embraces roughness and imperfection, which helps audiences feel immersed in the harsh environment of the training camp. Muddy fields, sweat-covered uniforms, crowded barracks, and endless forests all contribute to the gritty realism of the story. The visual style makes the audience feel trapped alongside the recruits as they endure constant pressure. The training exercises themselves are filmed with intense realism. Recruits crawl through mud, navigate dangerous obstacle courses, and simulate combat situations designed to prepare them for Vietnam. These sequences feel exhausting and chaotic rather than exciting,